what I would recommend for you, most of you guys on here, if you do have two devices, like if you have a computer or a tablet and a phone, you might want to go through tonight's training on a computer or a tablet. If you have one, if you don't, it's fine. But if you do have two, you may want to be on your computer for this training when we set up some indicators for this new, for the strategy. And this strategy, guys, is coming directly from Manny Canones, you know, our harmonics educator. It's called the scanner sauce strategy. So it's basically a strategy that works with the harmonic scanner where we're looking for multiple confirmations before entering a trade. So y'all know how the scanner already tells you if it's a buy or a sell, right? And it tells you the take profit and stop loss. But what this does is this refines when you enter the trade to make sure you're entering the trade at the best opportunity so that you can experience minimum drawdown and actually move directly into profit, okay? So of course, you already know how trading is. It's not going to be 100%. It's not going to work every single time, but it is going to work more times than not. And we're going to go through some examples tonight of it. There are several indicators. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 indicators that we're going to add to our scanner. Once we set these indicators, guys, you want to save it so that every time you use the scanner sauce strategy, you don't have to actually set this up every time. You just load it, the indicators come on, and you can do your thing. And we'll go through all of that tonight, okay? But if you do have an opportunity, guys, to be on a computer, pull up, let's move over to your computers now if you can, okay? Because that's gonna give you a bigger screen, it's gonna give you more space to work with so that you can get the maximum out of this training tonight, okay? So let me go ahead and actually share my screen. Hang on, guys. And feel free, it is a small group tonight, so you guys can feel free to unmute yourself as we're going through this so that, you know, y'all can talk to me, we can stop, we can vibe, okay? We can make sure everyone understands because it is a small group. Just make sure if you do unmute yourself, please, after you ask your question, mute yourself back, just so we don't have a lot of background noise and all of that stuff because it gets crazy. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Y'all, someone let me know with a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can see my harmonic screen. What I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna sign on from my phone as well. That way I can see the chat while I'm sharing screen. So hang on a second. Hang on 1 second, y'all. Okay, cool. So y'all, let me know in the chat. Can you guys see? Can you see my screen? Okay, perfect. Thanks, Monisha. Appreciate you too. I see you be plugged in. I see you were on the presentation earlier. You're on tonight. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, staying plugged in is the key to really succeeding here. Because repetition is the mother of all learning. Okay, so tonight's training, y'all, is going to be super informal. You know, this is just to make sure that everyone understands how to use this strategy. And you probably will have to watch this recording once or twice to get it, okay? We don't expect you to get it the first time around, but I do want to make sure that I'm crystal clear so that we know how to set up the indicators that we're using for the strategy, how to save it, how to load the strategy, and then how to actually go ahead and use the confirmations, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So the first thing, this strategy is for the harmonic scanner. So we've got to make sure that we're on the harmonic scanner. So you already know you go to harmonics.im to actually access the scanner. The website's right here in my browser. So you want to go to harmonics.im. And guys, if you are on a computer, you might want to do this with me, okay? Yeah, you might want to do this with me, or you can watch it and then do this when you watch the recording. It's totally up to you, but I'm going to make sure I kind of go kind of slow because I know that some of you guys are trying to follow me, okay? So you come to the harmonic scanner, you log in with your credentials. The harmonic scanner is going to go ahead and load up here for everybody. Okay. So here it is. And guys, as you all know, the markets are closed as of right now. So we're going to be doing this we're going to go over the strategy, but it's not going to be for trades like this weekend because the markets are closed. But I'm going to show you how to set it up, and we're going to do this for some trades to see if the scanner if the strategy would have worked for some of these pairs. Okay, so we're going to go through some, that's called back testing. We're going to do some back testing to see if the strategy would have worked. But of course, the markets are closed now until Sunday evening. All right. So when you get to your scanner, guys, the first thing you want to do is choose a broker. You know, like I said, Manny uses Hot Forex. So I'm coachable and teachable, so I use Hot Forex. That's what I choose to read my scans, just because he's who teach me the scanner, and whatever he does, I'm gonna do. Okay, I don't reinvent the wheel. So you want to go to Hot Forex, and then I'm gonna use this strategy, y'all, works for all time frames. Okay, so you can use this on the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour. I just personally like the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so I'm going to go through a couple examples on multiple, but we'll start with the 1 hour. Okay, so when you go to the 1 hour time frame, guys, these are the scans that the scanner has, right? So I'm going to go ahead and look at one towards the bottom, just because I want to look for an old scan so that we can test the strategy. Okay, test the strategy out. So let's just pull this up. So let's just take a look at this before we even use the strategy. Let's just look at the bare or the naked scanner. So let's make this interactive, guys. Okay, based on this, let me pull up my chat so I can follow y'all in here. So based on this scan, remember how we use the scanner, right, guys? What's the first step? Identify the D point. Okay, identify the D point. Now you've got to figure out, is this a buy or a sell? Is take profit above entry or below entry? What's the answer, y'all? Someone let me know in the comments. Is take profit above or below entry? Okay. It's above. I see. Okay, y'all on top of it. Okay, it's above, so it's a buy. Okay. The take profit, which is your target, is above your entry, so you're expecting price to go up, which means we're going in for a buy. Y'all, I'm proud of y'all on here. Shout out Manisha, Tay, Evie, Tatiana. That's what I'm talking about. So this scanner would have been a buy. So what would we have done? If we were taking this trade, now remember, we're thinking in reverse now, because this trade has already happened. But if we had looked at this trade when these candlesticks were near the D point, we were going in for a buy. We enter a buy on our phone and we type in our take profit 1 and our stop loss. We would have won this trade, right? Because check it out. Price went up, consolidated around this area, boom, shot up. Hit take profit 1, hit take profit 2. This was a winning trade. If you had took this trade earlier, you would have made money. Okay? Scanner worked. Okay, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to tighten with a strategy, with some indicators, to enter this trade at the ideal time, the perfect time for this trade. Because check this out, y'all. This is the hour time frame, right? So let's do this. This is the hour time frame. So when price was around the D point, which is around here, look at what does one of these candlesticks represent? Right? What does one candle represent, guys?
1 hour.
Boom. Okay. A candlestick is 1 hour. So think about this. Let's say none of this. Y'all just play pretend with me. Okay. Let's just say none of this stuff I'm highlighting has happened yet. Let's say you couldn't see that, right? So let's say we looked at this trade when only this blue candlestick was here, like at this D point. Look at how long price consolidated before it actually made the move. That would have been 1 hour, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. About 16 hours before price started to go in our direction, right? It consolidated. Y'all would have been pulling your head out like, oh my God, what's going to happen with the trade? I can win, I can lose. What to do, right? So you would have been in this trade for 16 hours before it actually made the move. So what this scanner strategy, the goal is to help you enter the trade when price is about to make the move, so that you could have avoided all of this anxiety while it was in consolidation. And we would have entered the trade more around this time when it's about to make the move. Does that make sense? Do y'all understand what the point of the strategy is? So you could definitely have just used the naked scanner, but you would have had to wait a long time before it actually hit take profit, because it didn't actually make the move until after 16 hours, okay? Because each one of these candlesticks is an hour candlestick, all right? So the scanner, the strategy is just to identify what we call the best entry. Entry means when is the best time to enter this trade, okay? Because wouldn't you agree, guys? You would probably have preferred to enter the trade about here, right? About here instead of here. Because look here, if you entered the trade here, price went right up in our direction. You would have been and it only took 1 hour, it took 2 hours to hit take profit 1, 3, 4 hours to hit take profit 2. So you would have saved yourself all the anxiety of this consolidation, and you could have entered the trade at a better time. Does that make sense? Does that concept make sense? Drop some.
Yes.
Okay, cool, good stuff. All right, awesome. So that's what the strategy is designed for. So remember now, you don't really if you don't use the strategy, that don't mean you're going to lose the trade. You just enter it at the best time. Okay, that's all it's doing. So I'm going to show you guys how the strategy works. Now you want to take some notes. Did I screenshot? Did I screenshot it? I may have screenshot something. Hold on, let me take a look at something real quick. If I screenshot it, this is something that you guys would be able to screenshot as well. Boom, here it is, okay? Boom, boom, boom. Let me pull this up. Y'all still seeing my broker, my scanner, or are you all able to see this thing that I have on the screen?
Yes, yeah, broker thing. Yeah,
okay.
Harmonic.
Okay, cool. So I gotta share my screen. Okay, cool. So this, guys, I want everyone to screenshot this. Okay, screenshot it. If you can't screenshot it and you got pen and paper, write this down really quickly. These are the indicators that we will use for this strategy. Okay, and I'll show you guys what all these are, what they mean, how they look, how to read them. But just screenshot this because these are the indicators, the name of the indicators and the settings for each indicator that we're going to use for this strategy. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to use is something called, and don't get scared because it's sounds like a foreign language. It's called Heikin-Ashi candles. Okay, that's just a type of candlestick, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So we're going to use Heikin-Ashi candles. Those are a little bit different from regular candlesticks. Okay, then we're going to use the dawn chain channel. Okay, and remember these are just indicators, and we literally put these on the chart, and it just is a way for us to read the charts. And you're going to see how simple this can be once you understand what you're looking for, okay? Dawn chain channels, the length is 50. McGinley dynamic, just write down those numbers, 4, 20, 50. I'm going to show you how to set this in a second. The stock, that's called a stochastic, that's an indicator. The length is 14, K is 7, D is 3. The awesome oscillator and the DMI. Length is 5, smoothing is 1. Okay, so make sure to write this down really quickly, guys, or take a screenshot so that you can always refer to it. This is going to be your scanner indicator and the settings that you need. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna give you all another 30 seconds to get that down. We'll get that screenshot. And we'll go ahead and apply it. Okay.
Hey, question. I don't recall if you had said it, but would we be able to save these settings?
Yes, and I'll show you all how to save it. Yes, that's the goal, guys. Once we set this up tonight, that's why I say if you are on your computer, do it with me, okay? Because when we set it up, you can save the setting and call it the scanner saw strategy. So every time you open your Harmonic scanner, you load basically the settings, and then you can go to your charts and start looking for these, and the indicators will already be on and set. Okay? Because you don't want to be doing this every time you pull up the scanner. That will drive you all mad. Okay? So everyone should have those indicators now. Okay, let me go back and share my screen of the scanner. Here we go. All right? So here's how you add the indicators. Okay? Here's how you add the indicators. And guys, this same process is the same steps are relevant to add indicators on your regular TradingView account. Okay, like if you're just using TradingView, not the Harmonic scanner, okay, you do the same thing. But we're doing this on the Harmonic scanner because we want to base this based on the scanner doing all the work for us already. Okay, so to add an indicator, guys, you go right here where it says indicators, Okay. Indicators, a little pop-up box is going to pop up. Now what we want to do, before I even do that, hang on. So the first thing on that list is Hakanashi candles. So what you want to do is we want to change our candlesticks to Hakanashi candles. So you see this thing that looks like a candlestick? It literally says candles if you hover over it. When you click on it, by default, it sets to candles, regular candlesticks. That's what we've been working on, right? Where price opens and closes. You want to select the Hakanashi candle, okay? That's just a type of candle. These candles measure momentum. So the way that the candlesticks print is a little different from a regular candlestick because it's measuring momentum, which is going to help us identify the way the market is going, okay? Trust me, guys, all of this will make sense when we see it come together. So just select Hakanashi. That's the first indicator. This strategy doesn't use regular candles. It uses Hakanashi candles. So let's choose Hakanashi. Y'all see how the chart looks a little different when we change the candlestick? What's cool about it is Hakanashi shows you momentum. So when you see a lot of blue candles, you know that we're in an uptrend. When you see red candles, we're in a downtrend. It's less. Look at the difference between what the candlesticks look like. Y'all see how it's kind of showing the momentum of the market? It's an uptrend, downtrend, little uptrend, little downtrend, consolidation, uptrend, downtrend, right? That's how Hakanashi measures momentum. Look at a regular candlestick. You see how it's like, it's not a continuous trend. It's not measuring momentum. It's just showing you what each candlestick is doing in that hour. So the Hakanashi gives you a better understanding or a bird's eye view or a glimpse of what the market is doing. Does that make sense? So y'all see how this is like blue candles, then some red, some blue, some red, some blue. But if we go to Hakanashi, it's like continuous. It gives you a better, you can almost identify the trend or the momentum in the market. Okay? Cool. Awesome. So select Hakanashi candles. Okay? Then now, so that's thing number one on the list because we're going through our checklist. So we did Hakanashi candles. Now we're going to add our indicators. So you go to the indicators. Then in this little search box, we're just going to type the name that we have here. So in the first one is Dawn Chain. So you literally type Dawn Chain. Dawn Sheehan, it's not chain, Dawn Sheehan. So I spelled it wrong. So it's Dawn Sheehan channels. Okay? Dawn Sheehan channels. That's the first one. So I click it. Boom. See how it added this thing here? What? I'm going to just show you something. If I hide it, this is what the chart looked like before I added the indicator. Once I added the Dawn Sheehan candle, this blue thing came up. Okay? Now we've got to set the setting. So you see how over here, guys, it says DC? It's showing me the name of the indicator. It has an eyeball, which is hide or show. Hide, show. The next option is a settings wheel. So of course, that's where we're going to actually be able to set up the settings for this indicator. And the X is just delete. So if I hit the X, it's gone. Okay, so we go to indicators, type in the name, click on it, it adds it. Now, y'all see how it says length 50. That means that we need to change the setting. So we go to the little setting wheel. Okay, box pops up. It asks the inputs, what's the length? It's defaulted to 20, but our setting says that this needs to be 50. So we just go here and type 50, boom. Okay, if you click up here where it says style, this is where you're able to, you know, kind of set up how you want it to look, okay? I'm gonna give you guys the settings that I use, which Manny uses, so that we can all use the same settings. So check this out. So if you're here, input is 50, style. Now style isn't as important. This is literally cosmetic. This is like, if you want blue and red candlesticks, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect what you're reading. It's just preference. But I'm going to give you what Manny uses. So if you start getting on Manny's sessions and he's actually using this strategy, your chart looks similar to his. Okay? So the point of this Dawn Sheehan channel, guys, is it shows you what's called volatility in the market, which means it shows you how price is moving within a particular range. okay? So if you look at this, you see how this line, it says lower? When price gets to the lower level of this channel, we're expecting price to go up from it, okay? So we're gonna use that blue. We're gonna leave that blue because we're expecting to buy off of the bottom of the channel. The upper, if price gets up to this upper, and I'm gonna make the upper red, guys, okay? Okay, you choose the color, and I like thicker lines because I like to see. That's too thin for me, so I'm gonna go with a thicker line. Y'all see how the line got thicker? Look at that upper line that I'm looking at. The thin line is super thin, thicker, 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 okay? I'm gonna go to the second level of thickness. And then this is the opacity. This is like how light you want it. I want it to be super dark. So y'all see now, I can see that, okay? Let me know, I mean, if I'm not making sense, stop me, okay? But all of this will make sense together in a second. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna choose the red for the upper, and the reason being we want this upper channel to be red is because when price gets to the red line, we're knowing that it should indicate a sell. Once price gets around red, it should go down. Once it gets to our lower level, and I'm gonna make that thicker as well, okay? We're looking for a buy, okay? I'm gonna remove this thing called basis, because look at this. Basis is that little, you see that line, this orange line? For this strategy, we don't need it. We only need the channel. We only need to see upper and lower. So I'm gonna remove this, and I can actually remove that background altogether as well. You see how I move it? I'm gonna move it because we want less clutter on our chart so we know what we're looking for pretty quickly. And this is gonna take practice, okay guys? Like just to condition your eyes. But by the time we're done tonight, this is gonna make so much sense, okay? So I'm gonna remove the background. So if you're doing this with me, guys, make your lower level of the channel blue, make your upper level of the channel red. But the most important thing in this whole setup is just that your input is 50. Okay? Click OK. So now we've got our channel set. Okay? We've got the channel set. First indicator done. Okay? Y'all with me so far? Drop some ones if you are, drop some twos if you're not. Okay, cool. Good stuff. Awesome. So now we're gonna move to the next indicator. So we go back to indicators. Oh, and you see this down at the bottom here, y'all? When we load the scanner, this always defaults, this RSI, which is an indicator, but we're not using that for our strategy, so we can literally just delete it, okay? Get rid of it, because you wanna declutter your chart. Okay, so now we're gonna set up our second indicator, which is the McGinley. So you go to indicators, you come here, and you just type MCG, boom, populates, McGinley dynamic. Let's click on it, okay? You're gonna click this 3 times because we're putting 3 McGinleys on. So you click once, and how do you know if it's adding? Look over to the left. You see over here, it's here, okay? But I want it 3 times, so that's 1, 2, 3. I got the McGinley there 3 times. Y'all see that? But each one of my McGinley indicator is gonna have a different number. That's why if you see, when you wrote it down, you have a 4, a 20, and a 50. So we just gotta set it. Does that make sense so far? We're gonna set it in a second, but do you guys see why we added 3? It's because we need 3 different settings for all of them. Okay, and I'm gonna explain to you what those 3 things mean. What's super cool about the McGinley, y'all, is these 3 settings give us 3 trade opportunities, 3 different entry opportunities for every trade setup that we find out on the scanner. I'll show you how to do that in a second. But now think about it. If you see a trade, you can actually enter this trade 3 times when certain things happen, okay? So you wanna go to your first McGinley, okay? Hit the settings icon. The first McGinley, we're gonna go to inputs. We're gonna set it to, what's the first number that we wrote down? 4. We're gonna set that to 4. Okay? Go to your style. These colors don't matter, y'all. Okay? You can pick whatever colors you want. Like I said, I'm gonna just pick colors similar to Manny's. Okay? His first color is like the same blue color. That's defaulted. But look here, the lines, you see how the line is too thin for me. So I'm gonna make it a thicker line. Y'all see how I made my line thicker? You can make it as thick as you want it, okay? Just depends on your eyesight. My eyes ain't that good. So I want a thick line. So y'all see the blue line? Boom, okay? That's our 4. So you might wanna write this in your notes. The blue in the McGinley, your McGinley 4 is the blue one, okay? It's blue. Remember this, the colors don't really matter. But for this exercise, because y'all are new, let's all have the same thing, okay? Now you go to your second McGinley. Let's go to settings, inputs. That second number we wrote down was 20, okay? Let's go to style. This time, let's make this one red, okay? Doesn't matter, but like I said, we follow in Manny. Red, and I'm gonna make it a thicker line. Y'all see how it gets thicker now? Okay, thicker red line, boom. So your 20 McGinley is the red line. You may wanna write that down just so you know, okay? See, I'm gonna write it on mine just so I can remember when I teach this again to use the same colors, okay? Red. Now we go to our third McGinley. This one, this time, the length is 50. And how are we getting these numbers? Because the thing we screenshot it told us. We're literally following instructions, guys, okay? 50, go to style. Let's make this one black. Black thicker line, okay? Boom, y'all see the black line? So now we got our 3 McGinleys. The 4 is blue, go ahead.
Sorry to disrupt the class, right?
You cool.
But we do a quick run back because something happened just now.
Uh-huh.
My whole harmonic scanner blanked out. And when I come back, yeah, it refreshed, I guess, and I have to put those stuff back in. So I already went to the Hakanashi candles.
Okay.
And let me see, the first indicator we did was the
Donchian channel.
Donchian channels, right?
You set that one yet?
No, that was supposed to have been.
That's 50.
Oh, let me go to the settings.
Yeah.
950.
Okay, and then go to and
lower,
set your lower is a blue line.
It's blue.
Lower is blue. Upper is red.
Upper
And you can uncheck the other two, basis and plot background. And you might want to make your lines thicker so you can see.
Yeah, I do that now.
Okay.
Okay. And then the next indicators.
The next indicator now is the McGinley.
And that's 3 of those.
3 of those, right?
1, 2, 3. Okay.
Right.
The first one was 4, right?
Yep. First one is 4 and make it blue. The default blue.
The default blue. Just sticking the line.
Default blue. Yep.
Okay. And we on the second one now, right?
The second one is 20. And make that one red.
Yeah, this is exactly where it cut off for me.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Okay.
And then the third one now is 50 and make it black.
Okay, so I should be back on par with everybody else.
Right, that's it. That's right where we stopped. So you're good now. Everyone good? Drop some ones. Thanks, Tico. See, stop it if you stop me if you need it. Okay. All right. Okay. Good. I see the ones coming in. All right. Awesome. So now we've got the Donchian channels on. We got our 3 McGinleys on, which represent the different 3 trade opportunities. The next one we're going to add is called the stochastic. So you go to indicators and we're going to type STOCH. It's going to be that first one, the stochastic. Okay? Stochastic. Click on it. You see it adds it to the bottom here. Okay? Stochastic, it's down here. Now we've got to set our settings, okay? So we're gonna go the same thing, go to settings, okay? Go to inputs first. Now we're gonna input the numbers that were on that screenshot or what you guys wrote down. So the length is 14. The smooth K is 7. And the D is 3. Okay, just copy and paste it. Now we're gonna go to style, guys. Okay. Okay. You want to keep the K on, and we're gonna keep everything on actually. The K, but let's just you may want to make your line thicker, and you can keep it at the same colors, blue and red. Okay. I like to make my lines dark, so I put the opacity all the way up and make my line a little thicker. All right. The only thing that I would maybe change, y'all, a little bit, just for me, and you got to figure out if you want the background or you don't. You know, I don't really like the background, to be honest. Like, I guess you could leave it and then just make it a little lighter if you don't. Like, this is all preference, you know? I don't like it, so I don't want it. I'm moving it. Okay, the important thing to this though, y'all, is that you have your blue and red line, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. Okay, and then you want to make sure the important thing is that you have these numbers right. Length 14, K 7, smooth D 3. Okay, so now your stochastic is this little section down here. What this shows, guys, is who is in control of the market. That's what this indicator does. It's like, who's in control, buyers or sellers? So what this blue line means is that buyers are in control. Red line on top means sellers are in control. So if you look at this, y'all, this little area that and drop it in the chat, y'all, just so everyone have a chance to answer. This little area right here, based on what this stochastic is saying, the fact that the red line is on top, who's in control, buyers or sellers? Okay, sellers. Yep, sellers. Okay, so the sellers are in the market, are in control, just based on looking at this part. Now look above at our chart. If you look at this same area that I just highlighted, in comparison to this part of the chart, it shows the sellers were in control, right? Because you're seeing that the momentum is showing down, so they correlate, okay? So the stochastic basically tells you who's in control of the market. Okay, so in that section, that's sellers. So drop it in the chat, y'all. Who's in control of the market in this little section right here? Sorry. Who's in control right here? Drop it in the chat. Boom. Buyers are controlled because your blue line is on top. Is that crystal clear? So whatever line is on top, blue means buyers are in control, red means sellers are in control. Whichever line is on the top is who has control, okay? So that's what the stock does. So keep that in your mind. The stochastic shows you who's in control of the market, okay? We got 2 more indicators to add, guys, and then I'll show you how these all tie in together. The next indicator we're gonna add now, okay? Let me make this smaller down here, okay? The next indicator we're gonna add, go to indicators, is the awesome. So you literally type the word awesome, okay? The awesome oscillator, add it, okay? It's down here. Y'all see it? It should look like this. It looks like a little, what you call this? Histogram, line chart. Y'all see how some of the stuff we learned in grade 3 coming to life? I ain't even glad. Right? This is the awesome indicator, the little line chart that we never use in real life until now. Let me see if y'all been to grade 3 math. All right. So now let's set this. You see the awesome in oscillator didn't have any settings, but what we do want to change is colors. Okay, just so everything matches. Go to settings. We're gonna change color 1 with color 0, which is our sellers, to red. We're gonna leave it red. Make the line thicker and maybe make it darker. But what we are going to change, guys, is the second color. Instead of having green, let's make it blue so it matches the rest of our lines. Okay? We're going to make it blue. Blue and thicker. Okay? Okay. So now everything's corresponding. We got blue and red. Make sense? So what the awesome indicates, y'all, is momentum and when a trend is changing. So basically, if you see blue on the awesome, that means that we're usually in an upward trend. We're in a buyer's trend. If we are looking at, if it's red, sellers, it's a seller's trend. The market's going down. It's a downtrend. Keep in mind, the longer the lines are on the chart, the higher the momentum. When the lines are tiny like this, that means it's still a seller's market, but the momentum is low. Does that make sense? Okay, does that make sense? So red lines on the awesome means sellers are in control. And remember, all of these indicators together are just confirming what we think the market, what's happening in the market. This is how we read the market. Remember, y'all, this is key. We can't predict the market. We're not genies and we ain't Jesus. So we can't predict the market. We can only read what's happening in the market. Okay? Keep that in mind, because you got to remember that, because if you start to put in your mind that you can predict the market would tell you something direct, but because you thinking you predicting you may be in a bad trade, the market is clearly telling you in the wrong trade, but you ain't letting go because you think you're right. We can't predict the market. We can only read it. Okay, so these indicators help us to read what's happening in the market. So if this right here says we're in a seller's market, then we look at the stochastic, and it's also telling us we're in a seller's market. Then we look at the Heikin-Ashi candles, and it's also telling us in a seller's market, maybe we're in a seller's market. If you have multiple indicators telling you the same story, it's probably true. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Okay. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I see y'all saying yes. Okay. So in the awesome now, that's all you got to know. If you see blue on the awesome, we're in the buyer's market. And just remember blue for buyers. Okay. If you see red, we're selling. Seller's market. All right. Let's add our final indicator, guys. Then we're going to have some fun because y'all going to see how this reads together. Then y'all going to be like, maybe I can learn how to trade. Maybe this ain't Chinese. You just got to understand what you're doing. Okay. That's all. This ain't trading is not hard, y'all. It's just new. But once you understand it, and it's not new anymore, it's like, it ain't that hard. Okay. So the next thing we're looking for, we got to add is our final indicator, which is DMI. So you go to indicators and just literally type that in, DMI, directional movement indicator. Okay. Click that, directional movement. Boom. See it, it's down here at the bottom. Guys, when we start using multiple indicators like this is when you want a big screen. I ain't gonna lie, like I using a 13-inch MacBook right now. When I'm looking at this particular strategy, usually I would put it on my TV. I would cast to my TV, so I could have like a 40-inch and then I can look at my charts. So this is why you see sometimes people have all those screens when they're trading, because when you're using lots of indicators, you know, you wanna be able to see everything pretty clearly, you know? I ain't telling y'all go buy multiple screens, but I'm just telling y'all why a lot of time you see people have a lot of screens for stuff like this, all right? So on the DMI, okay, and I'll show you, Tico and everyone, I'll show y'all how to maximize what you're looking at one thing at a time, so that if you are on a small screen like I am, you can kind of still make it work. So on the DMI, guys, to the bottom, let's go to the settings. Our DI length is 5 and smoothing is 1. Okay, remember that's just from the instructions we got from that first screenshot we took. Let's go to style. Okay, the first thing we're looking at, we're gonna make our things match again. Okay, so positive DI, we're gonna keep that as a blue line because positive means upward direction, right? Make the line a little thicker. The negative DI, I'm gonna make it red. Okay, and then this thing that says ADX, guys, let's make that black. Okay, so keep it in mind. Positive DI is blue, negative DI is red, ADX is black. Okay, set it just like that, y'all. Okay. And the blue and red on this particular chart, guys, means still the same thing. Remember, this is confirmation. This is the directional movement of the, it's a directional movement indicator. It's indicating the direction of the market. So if blue is on top, we're in a buyer's market. Buyers are in control. That's the direction of the market. If red is on top, okay, when I say on top, this black line, I'm gonna show you something else with that. The black line is different. That's why I wanted black. But just between red and blue, remember the battle is always between buyers and sellers. So between red and blue. So if red is on top, we're in a seller's market. If blue is on top, we're in a buyer's market. Okay? Now, the black is just showing you the momentum or how much in control whichever one is on top is actually in control. So if you see right here, blue is in control and this black line is way above it, they're way in control. If we look at right here, blue is on top, but you see how the peak is so small, it's not that much in control. And look at it. Here's how you know, because right after it, the red went right on top because it switched trends. And you'll train your eyes for that. But does that make sense? Blue is on top, you're in a buyer's market. If it's high up, way above, then the blue are way in control. And y'all, you're gonna realize that when you start like practicing these things and you start trading, you're gonna have to talk to yourself out loud while you're going through the stuff. Because that's how it's gonna make sense. You're gonna be like, okay, red is on top, okay, buyer's market. Okay, awesome saying red, buyer's market, red, but ain't that much momentum. Okay, because you're thinking yourself through this. And don't everyone does it. It's a good way to make sure. You gotta talk to yourself. You gotta, talk yourself through this, okay? It's okay, we ain't gonna think you crazy. All right? So here's the last thing. I want everyone to look over here. You see where I'm looking over here with this, to my little trend line, okay? This little toolbar, this little trend line. Click the little arrow right in front here to bring up the options. Okay, bring up the options. And we're choosing a horizontal line. Okay, horizontal line. Y'all see this little toolbox to tell you about the horizontal line? We're gonna make it black. We're gonna make it a little bit thicker. And we're gonna make it a dotted line or dash line, anything but a solid line. Okay, once you've chose those settings, y'all, on the DMI, I want us to go, just click anywhere, and we're gonna set this at a certain level. So just click anywhere to drop the line, okay? Drop your line, and I'll do this again because I know some of y'all probably like, Sophie, hold on. Okay, but just for the ones who are with me, you drop your line here, double click on it, and it's gonna bring up your settings. Go to coordinates, y'all, and we wanna go to 40. Type 40 and hit enter, or press OK. Basically, y'all, what I just did is when we're using this indicator, the DMI, when we find out who's in charge, what we're looking for as a confirmation is for our black line to be above the 40. So we just dropped a horizontal line at the 40. So if you're looking for the confirmation and it's not above the 40, the trade isn't ready yet. And I'll show you that in a second, but just know that your black line needs to be above the 40 dotted line. That's one of the rules. Okay, so does everyone have their black line drawn, their horizontal drawn at the 40? If it's no, okay, cool, I'll do it again. Good stuff. I knew that was gonna be one to get everyone lost, not a problem. So we're gonna go over here to our toolbar, click the little arrow so that it brings up your list, okay? We're gonna choose the horizontal line, okay? I had y'all change the color first, but I'm gonna make it even easier. You chose horizontal line. Now come down here to where your DMI is, your DMI section, and just click anywhere in the DMI section to draw a line. Yours may be blue right now, okay? And it might be a solid line, might be a thin blue solid line by default. Once you've drawn your line, double click on it so that we can edit it. Okay, double click on it. Go to coordinates, and we want to set it to 40. Then go to style and make it a black dotted line. Once you've done that, you can click OK, and now it'll actually be a dotted line at the 40. Okay, no problem. Talk to me, Nikki. Where you at?
Sophie.
Hey.
I got lost at the horizontal line.
Okay, so did you get to draw it yet or not yet?
No, I didn't get to draw it.
Okay, did you get to select it from the little menu though?
I selected, but
so when you select it, let me see. So when you select the line, you should have like a little crosshair, like what you see on my screen, right? Like a little
yes.
thing. Okay, so just scroll down all the way to where your DMI section is, that bottom section with the blue, red, and black line.
Yes.
To the bottom, and then just click anywhere in that section so it draws the line.
Okay, I got it.
Now that you've drawn it, double click on it so we can set it at the right coordinate point. So double click on the line now.
Okay.
Okay, now go to coordinates, and where it says price, you want to erase whatever is there and put 40. And then go to style and change the color to like a black line. And I would say a black line, and then instead of it being a solid line, make it like a dotted or a dash line. Anything other than solid.
Okay, I think I good.
Okay, and then click OK, and now it should show there.
Yes.
Perfect. Good stuff.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so guys, now everyone should have their indicators. I know your screen looks like crazy right now, but that's okay. It's all gonna make sense in a second. But now that we got all the indicators set, let's save this setup because everything is already set up with the right colors, the right settings. Now let's save it. So here's how you do that. Okay, right at the top up here, y'all see where I'm at? You see the word save? Click it, okay? Click the word save, and it's gonna tell you enter a new chart layout name. So let's call this scanner sauce strategy. And you could even put September 2020, okay? You can name it whatever, because as you get better, you may start adding things to this on your own, but just name it this for now. So all of us have the same thing. Let's call it Scanner Sauce Strategy, SEP 2020. Okay, and hit save. Scanner Sauce Strategy, September 2020, and hit save. So basically what we just did is we just saved this chart layout with all of these indicators. So now when you come to the Harmonic scanner, I'll show you guys in a second how to load this layout so that the indicators are on, and now you can do your thing where we're gonna show you how to look for the confirmations. If everyone has their scanner chart saved, drop some ones in the chat. Okay, let me see. Still saving. Oh, say okay, saved. Okay, cool. So I see y'all got the ones. Y'all got it saved. And how do you confirm? Right at the top of where it said save before, it should actually say the name. Okay, and if you click this little arrow right next to it, you see how it says you can rename it, you can make a copy of it, or you can load the chart layout. So now let me show y'all something. Okay, y'all don't do this, okay? But I'm gonna show y'all. Let's say I was to log out of the scanner and I had to refresh my page, kind of like how Tico did it to him before we saved anything, right? By default, when you log into the scanner, it brings you right back to this setting. You're like, oh my God, where are all my indicators? You've got to load the chart layout. So here's how you do that. You go to the little arrow right next to save. You click load chart layout, and then you're gonna just choose the one that you name. You call it your scanner source strategies right here. You click on it. Boom, all your strategy, all your stuff back. Y'all see that? It's like magic. right? All of your indicators are there with the settings that we just set up, okay? So now, guys, I'm going to show you how to use the strategy. So the hardest part of this thing was just now, which was setting it up for one time. Now that you've got it saved, you can always load it, but now I'm going to show you how to use it, okay? Awesome, 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 awesome. Sorry, y'all, my phone always going berserk. Okay, so let's go ahead and use the strategy now. All right, so remember I told you all I like to use the broker hot forex. So I'm gonna go back to hot forex. I'm gonna go to the 1 hour chart, and let's just look at the same GBP odd, because we knew this was a winning trade because when we first looked at it. So y'all see how the scanner looks like kind of crazy, like you can't really read nothing because there's so much going on. Here's a trick. Here's a tip. If you need to like stretch or minimize any part of your chart in TradingView or the Harmonic scanner, you see right over here where the numbers are, right? You can literally go to into that section and just drag. You see how it's making it smaller? See how it's making it bigger? You can just drag, okay? Or you see how the stock looks so wide? I can click right here. Once you see the arrow turns to like a up and down, I can just drag. I'll see that? You can just drag it and make it smaller, okay? Now, here's how you use here's how you use the tool. Look over here, y'all. You see over here, these little arrows? This down arrow just means that this would actually move the chart down. You see, if I clicked it, it move it underneath. If I click it up, I can go back up. The one that has up and down, that's actually maximized. So if you click it, it's the only thing I can see. I can, like now my other indicators have gone away. Because like now, if you're on a small screen, you may need to do each thing one at a time so that you can actually see what in the world you're doing. Okay, does that make sense so far? And do y'all see those little icons? The little down arrow and the little maximize arrow, which is the 2 arrows up and down. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna maximize each section at a time while we're going through this, because you guys can do this if your screen is small. If you're on a bigger screen, then you may be fine. But I'm on a tiny laptop. So this is what I have to personally do when I'm just like on my computer on the go, okay? And y'all, I'm setting up a dope setup for my office, like soon, like maybe next month. Next month, I can have some screens and setups really nice, okay? All right, so let's maximize the actual first part of the chart, okay? So here it is. Here's another trick, y'all. You see how this is, and it's kind of still like little confuddle up. What I always do is when you're in the chart, if you scroll down to the bottom, like don't click, but if you just hover down to the bottom, you see how this minus, plus, all these little icons show up? I always click this little one here, like the refresh. It actually takes you to like default zoom, which usually is a good zoom level. So if I click this, boom, you see how it make it look pretty again? It like took, it did not, it's not squished up anymore. It actually takes me back to regular zoom level, which is what I want to see. Does that make sense to y'all? Okay, so that little reset button, like, so sometimes if you like dragging stuff or you moving stuff around and it look a little mess up and you like, how do I get it back? Just go down and click that little refresh and it's gonna take you back to your original zoom, okay? Right, so now, oh, here's another thing, y'all. On our McGinleys, remember I told y'all, the McGinleys are giving you 3 entry opportunities, but you can only enter 1 at a time. And what that means is like, let's say you're looking at a trade and you look at the scanner and this trade has already happened. Like you get to the trade late and it's already maybe hit your first take profit, but you like, shoot, did I miss the trade or can I still get in this to take profit too? Those other McGinleys are for later on in the trade. So what you want to do is you only want to have 1 on at a time. Maximum, when you first get into a trade, you just want the first 1 on. So what does that mean? Go to the 20 y'all and the 50 now and click the little hide button, the little I, to hide them. We only want the 4 on for this example, okay? Which is the first trade opportunity, the 4. So you should only be seeing the blue line, because remember our light blue turquoise line is our 4. Okay, so now everyone's chart should look kind of like this. You should only be able to see your channel, your Donchian channel, and your McGinley 4. If everyone's chart looks like this, drop some ones. Just click the little I to hide the other 2. Okay, good. Y'all some quick learners on here. And all of my people on there who ain't as quick, this will be recorded. Okay, so y'all are fine. Don't feel slow. Just watch it again and go and pause it and do the stuff and pause it and do the stuff. If I was to do it like that, y'all, we just would be here till 3 in the morning. Okay, so don't feel no way. Just go ahead and go through it again and pause. Do your settings, pause. You know, that's the cool thing about recording these Zooms. You can access it at your pace, all right? But I should have more ones than these 4 ones. So that means some of y'all ain't there. So where y'all stuck at? Where is it? Where y'all having the trouble? Or y'all just wasn't listening? Y'all just wasn't talking to me. Okay, I see.
Sophie,
Hey,
which ones you tell us to hide again?
the 20 and the 50.
McGinley?
McGinley, yeah, the McGinley 20 and 50. Hide those 2 for now. Just have the
Okay.
4 on, which will be the blue line.
Okay.
Good stuff. We're gonna turn them on over as we go through the strategy. Okay, but when you first start, get on the chart and you first about to use the strategy, the first thing you want to use is the 4. The other 2 are later, okay? So this is what our chart looks like. So now let's reverse a little bit, okay? Basically, because remember, we're gonna be pretending all of this stuff hasn't happened yet, because remember, if we saw this scan on the scanner, the first thing we do, remember now we load our scanner, so now we got our extra stuff on, our sauce, that's why we call it the sauce strategy. So we got our extra sauce on our chart now, and we would come here and look for the D point, okay? Look for the D point. The first step in the strategy, guys, is we're looking at the channel to see if the candlesticks are near the top or the bottom of the channel. So because this is a buy opportunity on the scanner, we need price to be close to our lower level on the channel. Okay, y'all see it isn't at it, but it's near it. It's closer to the bottom than to the top, right? So it's towards the bottom of the channel, which is showing you, okay, that's the first indicator, like, okay, price is near the bottom of the channel. Okay, the second thing that we're looking, does that make sense so far? So we're looking to see, okay, like let's just say this D was here, but this channel was like, let's say this D point was here, but our channel was way down here. We wouldn't be ready yet because it's not even close. It doesn't have to be touching or anything, guys, but it has to be in the vicinity. And this is pretty close. The D point is pretty close to the bottom of the channel. So that's the first thing you look for. Go to your D point and see if it's near the channel. Second thing you're looking for, so that's the first confirmation. And I'm pretty sure Manny has a PDF with this step-by-step that I probably could share with everyone in the group, okay? Just so you can use it as a checklist while you're learning. At first, you may need to check it every time, but eventually, doing it over and over, y'all gonna just be able to look at these charts and say, check, 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 check. Okay, enter the trade, okay? So that's the first thing. Is price near the bottom of the channel? If this is a buy, is it near the bottom? Yes. Second thing we're looking for a candlestick, okay? We're looking for a candle to close, and I'll show you what this means, to close above the McGinley 4. So what does that mean? We're looking for a candlestick. Remember, like I said, we pretending none of this stuff has happened. We're gonna pretend we right here. Let's say we come on this chart right here. This is what's happening, okay? We're looking for a candlestick to close, which means that the top of it is above the 4, which is this blue line. So if we look at this, y'all, let's pretend. We're gonna pretend this is the current candlestick that we're on. The same one right here, okay? Let's say we open up the harmonic scanner, we go and see what trades we can get into. This is what we're seeing. So first we see, okay, it's near the channel. That's a yes. Second thing, we want a candle to close above the blue line, the McGinley 4, which is this line. This, if you look at this, I'll zoom in a little bit more so we can see. So remember, we're looking at this particular candle right here. If you look at this candle here in this hour, because remember now, each one of these is an hour. This one, it didn't really close above. It kind of closed. Now the wick, it went above it, but it didn't close above it. It closed right on it. So for me, I would be like, no, I gotta wait because it's not really above it. This one closed above it, but remember, we're saying that when we look at the chart, all of this had already happened. We were currently on this candlestick, okay? The candlestick has to close above the blue line. Y'all see, this is where this candlestick closed, right? Right here. I'll draw on it. Let me make it like yellow, highlighted yellow. Okay? This is where the candlestick closed, right here. Is it above the blue line, the McGinley? Yes. So that means that, okay, that's a confirmation. Okay, that means like, that's a yes. Next thing, the stochastic. So now remember, our stochastic is gone because we maximize this whole window. So here's what we show you to do. Go over here, guys, and instead of getting a horizontal line this time, grab a vertical line. Okay, grab a vertical line. I just like black lines, guys. So I changed my color from this light blue, because you won't be able to see it, to a black line, and I want it to be thick so I can see it, okay? And I like it to be dotted so I know what it is. Black, thick, dotted, or dashed line. So basically on this candlestick we're currently on, we needed it to be near the channel. We needed it to close above the McGinley 4. This candlestick did. So what you do is you draw a line. You just drop the line on the candlestick to say yes. That's like a yes. That's how you do a confirmation. Yes, drop a vertical line. Okay? Now we got to go to our next indicator, y'all, to see. We need all of these indicators. We need yeses for all of our confirmations before we enter a trade. Okay? So this is a yes. Now I'm going to minimize it because I need to look at our stochastic. I can maximize this if I want to too. Okay? Now, I don't really want to maximize it because I need to match it up to over here. Let me make it a little bigger. Hold on. Let me make it a little bigger. Well, not that. I need to make this a little bigger. Okay. So if this is where your vertical line was on, we're working with this candlestick because we say, hey, price closed above the McGinley here. Yes. Now you got to ask yourself, on the stochastic, who has control? Remember, in this particular trade, we're looking for a buy. So we're looking for when buyers have control. So you come to your stochastic and you come right underneath, because y'all see how these line up with the candlesticks, right? Like the lines, it's the candlesticks. So right here, in line with this particular candlestick that closed above the McGinley, you look underneath on the stochastic and say, hey, who's in control? Are buyers in control or sellers in control? Y'all drop it in the chat. Who's in control right on this candlestick, right here? Who's in control, buyers or sellers? Okay, I see some answers coming in. What else y'all think? Okay, buyers, right? Buyers are in control. So if we're looking for a buy opportunity, if the scanner is saying this is a buy, and this stochastic is saying buyers are controlled, that means that that's a yes on our checklist. Does that line up? Are buyers in control? Yes. So guess what you do? You drop another line right on the same thing because you just wanted to line up. Okay? Buyers are controlled. You drop another line. So you go ahead to your vertical line, drop that line. Now those two confirmations line up. We go into, because remember, we need 4 things to line up basically. Okay? So we were near the Donchian channel. It closed above our McGinley 4. The stochastic says that buyers are in control. Now we got to move to our awesome. We got to ask, On the awesome, who's in control? Are buyers in control on the awesome? So this is the awesome down here, guys. Are buyers in control at this candlestick? Just based on what y'all can see. Are buyers in control? Yes or no? Drop it in the chat. Buyers are control. Yes. How y'all know buyers are in control? Drop it in the chat for me. It's blue. Y'all smart. No, this is a sharp little bunch. Okay, now I'm playing. Okay, so buyers are control on your awesome. So you click here and you drop another line because it meets your confirmation. Buyers are in control on your awesome. Boom. Okay. Now we have one more confirmation we need to check. Okay. We got to look at our DMI. Now this is one. We can make it bigger if you want to, but we don't really need to, right? We could just we can just drag these up a little bit, you know, because now we're looking at the DMI. So how do you know if the DMI, so the DMI, are buyers in control? First of all, I'm gonna ask y'all, and y'all answer me in the chat. On this candlestick right here that we're working with, where our lines are buyers in control or sellers? Okay, y'all are. Who's that's Jerice? Okay, so yes, I see y'all saying buyers. Yes, that's correct. Buyers are in control because it's blue. And then Jerice, she saw, and momentum above 40. So buyers are in control, yes. But in order for this confirmation to be complete and accurate, you've got to ask, is your black line, which is your momentum, above the 40 level? The answer is what? Yes. So guess what you can do now? It matches up. So now you draw another line. Boom. Once you're able to draw a line straight down, that means on the next candle, you can enter the trade for the buy. So let's just look at it for a second. Let me bring up the main chart again. So think about this, y'all. Based on just our confirmations lining up just now, based on us doing our work just now, confirmations all lined up on this candlestick. And remember, if we were looking at this candlestick would have just closed because we got to wait for it to close. It can't just be above. It have to actually close. So that means that, let's say this was right now, which is 10:39 p.m. and this candlestick was above here. We wouldn't be able to actually know for sure if this closed until the next candle started to print, which would have started at 11 o'clock. Because it's 10:39 now and every candle opens on the hour. So if at 11 o'clock this new candle starts and this closed like this, you can enter the trade. Enter the trade. So look at what would have happened. Let me just show y'all. Let's just see what would have happened, how this would have played out. Okay, I'm gonna put a green line right here. So that means that we would have entered this trade, okay, right by my green line. And I'm gonna make it bigger. Based on our analysis, if this candle had closed here, once this next candle started at 11 o'clock, you could have entered a buy. You could have pressed buy on your phone, and then you could have entered this TP1 as your take profit one, and then you could have put the stop loss if you wanted to, or calculate the stop loss. But you could, just for this example right now, you type the stop loss and this take profit. You would have entered the trade right here by my green line, which is this price right here, 1.81059. And on this candlestick, trade would have gone up, kind of consolidated, would have come down about here, right? So from here, it would have come down to the lowest it ever got was, it would have came down, you know, like 30 pips, but it came right back up, came down another 27 pips, went back up, came back down 18 pips, went back up. But guess what, guys? After that, it was all up, up, up. So you would have got, if you got in this trade on this green line, when it actually hit our take profit, you would have caught 57 pips. 58 pips. So if you guys were doing the smallest lot size, that's $5.80, right? If y'all were doing a point 0.02, it'd been double, it'd been $11 and some change. If you guys were doing a 0.1, that would have been $58. Okay, if you were doing a 0.2, that would have been $100 and something in this trade, because it would have hit our take profit. Now, how long would it have taken to hit from where we entered the trade? Let's see. So if we entered the trade right here on this candlestick at our green line to take profit right here, we would have been in the trade 12 hours. Okay, it took a long time, 12 hours, but you would have made, you know, your 56 pips. So depending on your lot size, you know, $5, $10, you know, you're still new, so you're still trading really small, but you would have checked your phone and come back and you would have been $5 if you were doing the smallest lot size, $5.60, you know, in profit. If you're doing a little larger lot size, if you have a $100 account and you're high risk, you're doing a 0.03, that'd have been $15, right? Took you a long time, but guys, the key is you would have placed your trade, entered your trade, and you could have walked away in 12 hours later, you check your phone and you made money. Okay, now the goal is to go for smaller pips so it doesn't take so long. But the point is to show you how to use the scanner and how to use the strategy with the scanner. Okay, does that make sense? Is that crystal clear to you guys? See, I don't want y'all to get discouraged on the small numbers, because when you get confident and you start to use this strategy and you realize, gee, 7 out of every 10 trades you place using the strategy, you winning. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have confidence and you're going to increase your lot size. Now you could have walked away and come back to your phone and you made $560 in 12 hours. Now you won't be complaining. But you got to start small, right? We got to run before we walk. No, that's mixed backward. We got to walk before we run, right? We got to crawl before we walk. Okay? So the hardest part of this whole process, y'all, with the strategy was setting up the indicators. Actually looking for the confirmations aren't that hard. Now let's do another example. Let's do another example. And remember, guys, the reason that this took so long, like this took a whole 12 hours, is because we were on the hour time frame. If we were on the 15-minute time frame, we could probably get in and out of trades in 1 hour. Let's do one on the 15. Let's look.
So,
okay,
real quick.
Sure.
On the DMI, okay. How do you get that? The vertical line, you know, the dotted line that we're supposed to have down there?
This one?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what you want to?
Mine disappeared.
Okay, no problem. We just got to add another one back. No problem. So let's go to the little toolbar over here at the top left. We're going to find that horizontal line.
Okay.
Okay. And just come down to the DMI section, like in that DMI section, and you can literally click anywhere just to put a line anywhere.
Okay.
Then once you put it there, double click on that line. So it brings up the settings for the line.
Okay. All right.
Change your color of your line. So you might want to make it a black. And I like to use like dotted or something. So like at a quick glimpse, you know what you're looking at.
Okay.
Okay. And then go to coordinates.
All right.
And erase whatever's there and put 40.
Okay.
And now you should have your horizontal line. Now, because you,
okay.
Yeah, so now you should be fine. Did you have a horizontal line there before, like when you saved the actual strategy?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't have to save it again. Okay, you just erased it by accident just now. So anytime that you actually load your chart, it'll be there for you.
Okay.
Okay, good stuff.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
So no problem. Let's look at one on the 15-minute, guys. So I'm on the 15-minute chart. And let's see what's going on here. I want to look for one that won't line up right away so we can see, because y'all, one thing you're going to learn is trading is 90% patience. Okay? It's 90% patience and waiting, because you're waiting for the right setup. And when those things line up, then you enter a trade. What y'all going to do, and I know y'all going to do it because I did it for a long time, is almost everything would line up except one. And I'll be like, Mom, but I think you can do it. And then I enter the trade early and lose. You got be patient. Wait for all of your things to line up before you enter a trade. Okay, let's see. Let me try to find one really quickly. Gee, that's a lot of, see all that that bearish momentum, whew. Let's see. Let's just look at this one. I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's look. Because you see how this consolidated, look at this, y'all guys. And your eyes are gonna start to see stuff like this, right? You see how this price, this is the D point, it's selling, it's going for a sell, right? Because your take profits are below entry. But you see, it took all this time before it actually made the big move. Now, you still could have caught some pips now, don't get me wrong. Because this did come close. But then it dropped drastically where you could have caught it for like, gee, let's see how much pips that is. From here to all the way down here. Wow, that's 125 pips. Wow, that would have been a good trade, boy. Check this out. If you got in this trade at the top of the move here and caught it all the way down to the bottom here, in 4 hours, you would have caught 120 pips. That's a lot of pips. Wow. Okay. So let's look at this. Let's just see if our confirmations line up or when they would line up. Okay, let's check it out. So first things first. This is our D point. Is price near our upper limit, our channel? And I want y'all to answer me in the chat. Okay, let's go through the confirmations. I need yeses or nos, or buyers or sellers, okay? So we come to our D point. Is price near our channel, our limit of our upper limit? Because this is a sell, we're looking for it to be near the upper limit because we're looking for price to go down. So is price near our limit, our upper limit? Yes or no? Everyone participate. Y'all don't all speak at once. Okay. I see some yeses, I see some nos. I need some more people to break this tie. What y'all think?
Repeat the question for me.
Sure. Based on the D point, so where our candlestick is currently at, like in this area, are we near the upper limit of the channel? Are we near the red line? Are we nearer to the red line or the blue line, right? Because if we're looking for a sell, we need it to be close to our red line. We're looking for a buy, we need it to be close to the bottom of our blue line. Okay, so everyone's saying red, yes, near the red line. Okay, yes. So that's the first indication. So we're near the channel. So, okay, we can start to look for more confirmations, okay? Now we gotta look for a candlestick. Actually, I'm gonna treat this. We're gonna look at this multiple times, but let's treat this again like we did last time. So I'm gonna erase what happened and we're gonna base it right on right here. Okay, right here. Boom. So let's just say right at this D point, this candlestick I'm pointing at right now, this is the candlestick we're looking at. So it's near our channel. So we're like, okay, we can look for the next thing. Now we're looking to see, did it close below? Because now remember, keep this in mind, y'all. If we're going for a buy, we need the candlestick to close above our McGinley 4. If we're going for a sell, we need it to close below our McGinley 4, okay? So if we're on this candle right now, did this candle close below our McGinley 4? Like, do we have a confirmation on this candle right here that I'm pointing to? Let me try to see if I can put an arrow there. Can I turn this or twist this? This is the candle I'm talking about right here. Okay. What y'all think? Did it close below our McGinley 4? No. So it's a no, right? So because it didn't close below our McGinley 4, guys, we can't even keep going because it didn't close. So it's like, okay, this trade ain't ready yet. Like this, your first confirmation isn't met, so it doesn't make sense going to the others because these have to line up. Go ahead, Jerice.
How did you get that arrow
directly above that candle? How did you do that?
Right over here on my toolbar, this little arrow right here. I just clicked it and dropped it there, then turned it.
Okay, got you. I always wondered for that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So guys, if you look at this, it didn't close. So we don't have a confirmation. We can't draw a line. We got to wait. Okay, remember, we're in the 15-minute time frame now. So that means that, so let's just think, if this was actual live markets right now, this was the candlestick we were on and we were waiting, what time, if it's 10:51 p.m. right now, what time would the next candle start? This might be a trick question. What time do you expect your next candle to start printing on your chart?
11.
At 11 o'clock. 11, okay? So it doesn't matter what time it is to us, y'all. The candlesticks print every 15 minutes. So you could, it's almost like a clock. So 11 o'clock, it's gonna print a candle. Then 11:15, it's gonna print another candle if you're in the 15-minute chart. 11:30, 11:45, 12. 12:15, 12:30, 12:45, 1. Okay? If we're in the 1 hour chart, 1, 2, 3. It don't matter if it's 10:52. The next candle isn't going to print at 11:52. It's going to print at 11. So this candlestick will just have 8 minutes before the next candlestick. Does that make sense? So just know that your candles print just like a clock.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Repeat that, please. For some reason, my audio got disconnected when he was asking the question.
Sure. No, I was asking. I was just talking about based on what time frame you're at, what time would the next candle be printed? So right now it's 10:53 our time. So the next candle that's going to actually be printed on this chart will actually come out at 11 o'clock because that's the next 15-minute interval.
Okay, I was wondering if I answered correctly because the question kind of cut off.
Oh, no, yeah, you good. Good.
Yeah, I know we had changed the time intervals.
Right. So if we switched over to like the 1 hour time frame, every candle would start on the new hour. So 11, 12, 1, 2, right? If we were doing 30 minutes, it'll be 11, 11:30, 12, 12:30. That's how the candles work, okay, guys? I just want to make sure that's clear. So if you're waiting, so like let's say we're on the 15-minute time frame, and this is a candlestick that we're waiting for to close. We know the next candle is going to print at 11 o'clock. So let's just say, fast forward, it's 11 o'clock now.
Okay,
now we're on
thing.
this candle. What's that?
One more thing. When just for clarification, when you say when the candles close, we looking at on the blue candles, they close at top, and the red candles close at the bottom, or that's for clarification.
Yeah, but with Hakanashi it's a little bit different, but it's the same thing. But yes, so when a candlestick opens and closes, guys, it's like, see, it's hard to show it on a Hakanashi because Hakanashi shows momentum, not time. But if I was to show you a regular candle, hold that thought, okay, guys? I'm going to explain that. Because I don't want to move from the chart because then it might throw off everyone thinking. We're coming back to that. Remind me of that, Tico, in a minute. Okay? So let's just say now, let's fast forward to 11 o'clock. Now, this candle where my arrow is just printed, right? It's 11 o'clock. And we go into time. Look at it. Did this close below the time? Below the McGinley 4? No, right? This also didn't close, so you still can't get in this trade. Gotta wait for the next 15 minutes. So now at 11:30, this candle opens. Now, what happens, y'all? This candle opens and closes. So like Tico is talking, in a blue candle, the close is at the top because it's a buyer. It's a candle that's going in the upward direction. A red candle, it's going down. So that means it's going to close below. It's going to close below. This is going to close. A blue candle closes above. Okay? Y'all lost? Well, that makes sense. In a blue candle, you're in a candle that's going in the upward direction. So it closes at the top. In a seller's candle, it's going down. It closes to the bottom.
Onto the top and the bottom of what? The McGinley?
Well, for our strategy, yes, but just looking at a candlestick period, if you were just like, say we weren't even talking about the strategy at all, we were just looking at this candle, and I asked guys, where's the close of this candle? Because it's a red candle, it's going to be to the bottom.
So the skinny lines are closings.
No, the skinny lines is
The
just
wick, right?
the wick. So basically what the skinny lines mean, guys, is this. And these are great questions, by the way, y'all. Okay? The skinny lines mean that, okay, so this will make it make sense. So we're going to isolate just this one candle where my blue arrow is for right now, just for this example. So basically what this candle means is, look here, because this is a selling candle, we know it's going down. So that means that it had to start higher. So the candlestick basically opened where my line is at right now. It went up and came back down all the way down here. But when the 15-minute was up, it actually ended right here. So the body of the candle just shows where price went. So check this out. Let's say, so this is exactly what happened in this candle. And then I'll show you all a multiple so it might start to click. Price, the candle started at this price right here where my line is, went up. The reason the body didn't come up here is because it didn't close there. Let's say price opened here and then it went up here, and it had a body. This candle would actually be a blue candle because price actually went up. Price closed higher than it started. Price started here, it went up, it didn't stay there, it got pushed down all the way down here, it didn't stay there. By the time that 15-minute period ended, price was already back here. So those are called wicks. That means that price went in that direction, but it still closed above it. If that makes sense or no? Not really.
Yeah, it was just fluctuating.
Right, it fluctuates. So where the body just indicates where price closed and where price opened. The wicks, though, show where price actually went. It just didn't close or open there. Make sense?
Okay, so the one left of it, that was a short.
So price opened and closed basically the same place. So basically, if you look at this one, what this one means is price opened at this line, it went up, came down, but it closed the same place as where it opened. That's why there's really no body.
Okay, so does it normally have to open and close at the same line?
It hardly ever does. That's actually, when you see candles that look like this,
Mhm.
usually this represents that the market's about to change because it doesn't happen that often. That's called a doji. That's a special candlestick. And that usually recommends change in momentum. So like right here, so you see how right here, price it's in an upward trend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Starts to like kind of go down. Then we have one of those dojis, which is the little cross, right? That indicates that indecision in the market. That means that the buyers and sellers are fighting and no one has control. It's like they had a tie. You know what I mean? Like they're both trying to push the market, but they're equal. So if you look here after a doji, look what happened. It kind of consolidated, right? Price didn't really move a lot until it pushed it down, came back here, opened this new candle, tried to push it up, but it come back down. But not until this candle, price actually pushed all the way up and closed much higher than the candle before.
Okay.
Okay, and got it. Quick standstill. You're right, a quick stand. Oh yeah, it indicates indecision. So if you look here, so it's a kind of a consolidation. Price went up. It started to push up, but then a doji happens again. And look, because this doji happened, price, it's saying like the market, buyers and sellers are fighting. Buyers were in control, but the sellers trying to get it, but they ain't winning yet, right? Now in this candlestick, the sellers actually got in control because they pushed price all the way down here. Buyers pushed it back up to here. New candle open, they kind of push it back down again. This candle, doji again, back to fighting. They indecision in the market, and then look what happens. the buyers take control again. Buyers in control again, right? So remember, these candlesticks are just a representation of buyers and sellers in the market trying to take control, okay? Trying to raise the price or trying to lower the price of whatever currency we're looking at, all right? There's a whole book on candlesticks because that's when you're really getting deep into technical analysis because the candlesticks do mean something. But for right now, for this strategy, it's not super important. The only thing that you're looking for is a close above or below your McGinley. Okay, so in this candlestick, guys, price close below year 4. You see, price close here. Okay, and always remember, if you're looking at a blue candle, the close is above. If you're looking at a red candle, the close is going to be at the bottom. Just remember that. In a blue candle, your close is at the top. In a red candle, your close is at the bottom. Okay, so price close below. So this would have been a confirmation, right? We could have almost draw one of our lines to say, hey, this met our thing. Like, yeah, price did close below the McGinley. Then we move to our stochastic. Let's look at the stochastic, right? I'm gonna just draw the line so I can make it bigger, but I can at least know what I'm looking at. So right here, check it out. So where my line is right here, guys, our buyers or sellers in the market, right here. Who's in control? Right where this line is. It's almost like an immediate,
Nobody.
Right, exactly. That's a cross. So this is, at that point, you can't say the sellers are in control. Now over here, if you move over to this candlestick, sellers are more in control, but right at this point, you can't enter the trade because you're like, no, they're exactly intersected. So no one's in control. Okay, so this would be a point where you could say, okay, close below the McGinley, but my stochastic is not in control. I gotta wait. And then here's another confirmation. If you go down here now, look at your awesome, it's showing buyers in control, not sellers. So that's another negative. Then if you look down here at your DMI, your sellers are in control, but your black line is not above the 40. Your black line is below. So this is definitely a no. Y'all see how you can see when it's not? The confirmations don't line up, right? That makes sense? So your first confirmation lined up, but none of the others did. So what do we do now? We wait. You got to wait to see what the next candlestick does. You're like, okay. And let's say right now it's 11:04. Let's say this was literally happening right now. We would know. You could go do something for 15 minutes and come check back in 15 minutes and see what ended up happening. So you don't have to sit there and stare, because you still got to wait until the next candle to know what happened. How did that first candle close? Did it close above? And then you can start to now you can kind of start to manage your time. And I'll be honest, that's why I like the 1 hour time frame, because if I look at stuff and it ain't lining up, I know come back in an hour, I can go do something else with my life. I can go call some people or something, right? So I don't like the 15-minute because you got to be glued to the screen. I just don't have that much time, So the 1 hour, you can walk away, be like, okay, this ain't ready yet. I can check this back at 12 o'clock. See what happened. See if I can enter the trade at that point. Okay, so this is a good example, y'all, where it didn't line up. The first one lined up, but none of the others did. So you would not have been able to enter this trade. Now let's keep looking. So this one also closed below. So now we can look at the next one. I can see from here, if we just looking at our stochastic, our DMI, I'm sorry. Let me draw my line back too, because I see my line disappear too. Hang on. And this is something y'all can do, and then we can get out of here because we've been on this call long, right? So if I draw this at the 40, and just at a quick glimpse, I know none of these, not until this point right here, is anything above the 40. So all of this, I gotta wait. For sure your DMI in your confirmation, so you can't take the trade because all have to line up. So now if I come back to my chart and I look here, and I say, hold up. My black line is above my 40. Sellers are in control. Okay, now I can start looking at this trade. So now I can actually work in reverse. I can say, okay, right here at this candlestick, I'm above the 40. Sellers are in control. Okay, that works. Okay, looking at my awesome, it red. Sellers in control. Let me see what the You know, I'll draw my line here just so I can see, guys. I open it up. Let me move this because this was the old one. So I look here. Still no, seller still in control. So this one doesn't meet our criteria. This is like equal. So no, that killed it right there. So we were close, but that one didn't allow us to. And if we look at our actual chart, let me bring it back. So this is where we're at here. If I look at our actual chart here, yes, it closes below the McGinley, but our stochastic sellers aren't in control. So because this one didn't line up, trade ain't ready. You gotta wait. Gotta wait again. Okay? So guess what? If we gotta wait again, let's look again. So let's look over here. So it went back under the 40, boom, it's above the 40. Now let's look again. Okay. Sellers in control above my 40. Yes. Awesome is red. Yes, I can line that up. Now, let me look at my stochastic. I'm just gonna bring it over, guys, so I can know what I'm looking at. Right here. Let's look at the stochastic. Boom. Red above the blue line. Yes. This is a yes now. So now we just need to make sure one more thing is intact. Let's pull this over here. To line it up, let's look at our chart. Below our McGinley. This trade, everything has lined up. Now you can enter the trade. And if you enter the trade on this new candlestick, let's see what would have happened. So if you enter the trade here, y'all, from here, you would have entered the trade like about here. I think where I draw another little yellow line. You would have been in this trade in consolidation for quite some time, but eventually it would have hit your take profit. It hit your take profit for your 10 pips. Okay, 10 pips. If you went for take profit 2, you'd get 30 pips. If you went for your take profit 3, you'd have got 65 pips. So don't worry about how long a trade takes. You just care if it hits your take profit and it don't hit you. And look at this, guys. This was not even remotely close to our stop loss. It consolidated, but it never went in the opposite direction. It was just like not moving down, but it was just in the same area. Okay, I think Jerice, I think I see you got a question. Did you raise your hand?
I good, Soph, I good.
Okay.
I just was wondering about, I know I remember him saying something about making sure it closes with a flat top, but then I noticed the candles you were doing, they did have flat tops, so
Yeah.
I get.
Thank you. See, I forget to even tell you all that, and that's major. Thank you, Jerice. See, that I know you on the session. Guys, that is critical. Your candlesticks have to have a flat top. Thank you so much. That is critical. What does that mean? Thank you, Jerice. Major key. Okay? And it, like she said, the ones I am looking at, I don't know, maybe my eyes just automatically trained to that. I don't know, because I didn't even realize that, but it's true. So here's what a flat top is. Your candlesticks that you enter on or that you're looking at has to have a flat top. You see how they have these wicks? If it has a wick, it does, you know how we're doing the, hey, does it close below the McGinley? You look, but you got to ask, does it have a flat top? So if it's a sell, is the top flat? The one we did, yes, it is. Let's say this one here. Does it close to below the McGinley? Yes, it does. Does it have a flat top? No, because it has a wick. So that wouldn't count. All of these here are under the McGinley, but they don't, none of them have flat tops. So this candle that we actually would have entered on was the only one. Or look at this. All of these are below McGinley, but they all have wicks. So the other entry would have been right here. This is below the McGinley. Does it have a flat top? Yes, it does. So this candlestick would be a potential entry. Now let's see if our other stuff lines up, guys. Let's look at the stochastic. I'm just going to draw it so we can see. Sellers in control of the market? Yes. Red is on top of the blue. So that line is a go. Awesome. Is the awesome red? Yes. Boom. Underneath on our DMI, is the red above the blue? Yes. And is our black line above the 40? Yes. Boom. This was another entry. Okay, this was another entry. So you would have been able to enter this trade on this. So where we entered initially was one opportunity, and this is the second one. You'd have been able to enter here as well. Okay, boom. If we didn't enter here, let's look. Let's see where we have another candle that closes below and has a flat top. Does this close below? That's a good question, y'all. Does this candle here close below? This blue one. Is this blue candle close below? And tell me why. I'm so sore from the gym. Oh. Tarenda says yes. Nikki says no. Cherie says no. Tell me why. No, because blue closes above. Boom. Great, Manisha. Exactly. Blue candles close above, red candles close below. So so it's because this is a blue candle, the close of this candle is not to the bottom, it's actually to the top. In a red candle, this is the bottom, not the top. Great job. Great job. So let's look for our last final opportunity. So if we're looking for a candle that closes below, this is one right here, right? Let's look. This one here closes below and it has a flat top. Right here. Boom. Okay. Now let's look for our other confirmations. Okay, let's look for the others. You know, I got to draw the line just so we could see. I can just draw all the lines so we could just see, and we'll delete what doesn't fit. So let's look at our stochastic. Is this a yes or a no?
Yes.
It's a yes, right? Sellers are in controls. Red on top of the blue line. So that's a yes. Now let's look at our awesome. Is this a yes or a no? It's a yes. Because the red line is there, right? And then let's look at our DMI. Is this a yes or a no?
Yes. No, because the that's under the bottom. It's under the 40.
Exactly. So the sellers are in control, but it's under the 40, so that's a no-go. So you can't enter there. You just got to continue to wait. So you might have another opportunity. You see how this shot up all the way over here? It's above the 40. Then we got to look to see if any of these candlesticks over here are flat tops. So this is no, no, no. Let's see. Let's take a look. See where the next opportunity would have been. Flat top right here. Boom. This one. Then, so you see how like you got to look for the opportunities and then you say, okay, this didn't work. Then you find a flat top. Now you got to check the other things. And whenever it lines up on the next candle, you enter the trade. And if y'all look at this, right? Look at this. If we entered on this candlestick, you see, we were even closer to when the move happened. So you'd have got in at a better entry. So you wouldn't have to wait through all that consolidation. This would have been, let's look, from here to take profit, all the way to take profit 2, when it first hit TP2, it would have only took 4 hours and 15 minutes to get 37 pips. Not bad. Not bad. Okay? Guys, was this helpful tonight? I know it's a lot.
Real quick, Soph, just to clarify, and you probably already clarified it. So when you're putting your entry line on the, it would start on the flat top, right?
Yes.
Okay. You probably said that, but I just wanted to double check.
No, and actually what you're waiting for to be on, right, so when you, I booger my nose, right? And then you all tell me, you all in, I told you, you fuck me, man. And my tissue. Right? When you enter the trade, when you notice that it is a flat top, you're entering on the start of the next candle. So you only need to make sure that the candle you're looking at is a flat top. The next candle, when it opens, you can enter the trade. So you're gonna enter as close to the wherever that candle closes, you're gonna enter on the next candle. But for your confirmation, it has to be a flat top candle. But where you actually enter is the next candle. Because remember, you gotta wait for the candle to close to know if it does actually close under your McGinley. So if all your things line up and that candle closes under your McGinley, when the next candle opens, you can actually enter the trade. All right. So guys, I know it's a lot, but trust me, like it sounds like a lot tonight. Like you like, gee, I need to have a drink now, right? I know I do, right? Right. But the key is once you start doing this over and over and over, you're gonna be able to identify these things quickly. That's why I encourage you guys to get on the sessions, go watch some of Manny's his recorded videos from other sessions, because it's gonna become second nature to you. It's gonna become second nature because you're gonna get used to seeing the same things. Your eyes are gonna get trained to be able to identify these things. And then you're gonna start to just know, like, this looks like a trade setup, and then you'll be able to do boom, 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 your confirmations quickly. But of course, you're new, it's brand new to you. You can take your time, you're gonna have to take your time. And what I would recommend, yeah, that's a checklist. Manny has it, it's a PDF, I just gotta go find it. I'll find it sometime tonight and send it in the group, or Jerice, if you want to, because I know you follow Manny, you may already have it. If you do, feel free to drop it in the group for me, but I will definitely look for it tonight. All right. But guys, like, oh, thank you, y'all so nice. You know, I got a lot of patience, man. You know, I do. Because I knew what this journey was like for me. Going through the academy myself, I didn't have no one doing this for me. You know, so I said, hey, as I build my organization, I'm gonna make sure that not only me, but people in the organization who are good at this stuff, you know, can teach everyone else to kind of speed up that process. So at least when you go to the Go Live sessions with Manny moving forward, it ain't gonna be totally French. You're gonna be like, okay, that's what Sophie was talking about on that call. And then it's gonna click a whole lot faster because he's gonna be able to show you the strategy in real time on real charts. So there's something else I'm gonna try to implement as I get some of the other leaders who are using the strategy and comfortable with it, to try to do maybe a session one night through the week where it's not like a weekend, where we can actually hop in some live trades together from the scanner using the strategy live in the markets. It's just, I have a lot on my plate, so I don't want to promise that yet, but I am working with some of the other leaders who do, you know, use the scanner and use this strategy so that we can make sure, you know, we can start to do those type of things. Because one of the things that I see for our organization is where we start live trading together, where all of us get on a session, you know, and we're making money together, you know, on live sessions, entering trades, everyone securing the bag together at the same time, outside of what you're doing with the other educators. So that's definitely in the pipeline. It's in the work. That's coming, you know. You may end up being an educator down the line. Hell no. I was concerned when 9 came and you were at me. Said, oh, no, I was coming. I went long on the presentation tonight. I'm here for it. Some of the videos in the academy were confusing, but this was great. Okay, awesome. So what I would recommend y'all, make sure, and I know I say this all the time, but make sure you're not only watching the videos in the academy, but watching the Go Live sessions, some of those recorded sessions from the educators. That's what really makes the academy videos make sense when you see the practical, when you see it in action. And everything that I'm teaching y'all, I learned through this academy. So the resources are there. Sometimes you just need someone to hold your hand a little bit just so you can get running, get a kickstart. But now that y'all got this, you can go in the academy in the Go Live sessions. Guys, Go Live is the key. The academy is just to teach you the terms and the terminology and the theory. To where you really see it in action is in Go Live. And there's something else, one last thing. I love Gold Cup. I actually upgraded to the Elite package, so I have all the products from all the educators. But I'm gonna find a session that works for most of us, where we can hop on a Zoom like this, and I'll share my screen because I'm actually paying for the products. I'll share my screen on an actual live session where everyone can get on that session and we can all learn from the educator and take the live trades together. You know, I'm just looking for a time that works, because the session that I trade is 9 in the morning, and I know most people are at work at that time. But I might start just hopping on Gold Cup, or whoever want to hop on with me, let's hop on. They do trade indices like SPX, so your account has to be a little bit bigger. But I am looking for like another trader who's on around 7, 8 in the evening, so we can do that together. So just know that that is something that I am working on, where we can hop on, and even if you don't get the products right away, I have them. If I'm paying for it, I don't mind y'all having them or having access to it. Like, we just have to get on and stream together. And then what that'll help you all do is see which educators, which products you'll like, and you may want to add it on to your package as well and just use that product or that educator. Like, I know Dante on here, he likes DeLorean, and Felicia, she loves DeLorean. That's what Able, that's one of their products. You know, Daryl, he likes Steady, you know, or, from one of the other educators. I like Gold Cup. Other people like Levels, right? Deborah is actually going to be doing a training next Wednesday on some basics, and then I'm going to ask her to go into Levels as well. So guys, just know that it's a process, and we're going to continue to do these things. And my goal is to make sure that soon it's not me doing these trainings, but it's actually you guys training the rest of the team. All right. So I'm glad this was useful. I'm going to definitely upload this to the YouTube and drop it in the group. It may not be tonight, but it'll definitely be by tomorrow, so that you guys can learn and go over this. Make sure that y'all get your tickets for the October event, the virtual event. It's only $25, so cop your tickets. You got to be there. There's going to be, all the educators are going to be training and trading, so it's going to be some powerful stuff, all right? So sorry I had y'all on a Zoom until 11:30 on a Friday night, but why not learn how to make some money instead of spend money, right? So y'all have a good one, all right? Have a
Sophia,
yes,
quick
sir.
question.
Sure,
How
sure.
can I go back and watch this video, the whole thing over again, since it's recorded?
This one here? This training, right?
Yeah, I wanted to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, no, once it's done downloading to the cloud tonight, I'm gonna upload it to my YouTube channel, and I'll drop it in the group, so you can go ahead and you can bookmark it and have it at your disposal for you and and other people that you want to share it with. That's fine. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right, no problem at all. Another hour, Jerish, you got to be crazy. I'm not replaying y'all. I'm playing. Y'all know I would, you know, I don't mind. I you forever. But I'm hungry. That's why. So this was valuable. Wednesday night, we have a training. Okay, with Deborah. You know, she's really good. She's really patient. She's a good teacher as well. That's going to be something to look forward to. And then let me see if James is on here. Yeah, James is on here, Mr. Big Boss. James uses
the times.
It'll be at 9 o'clock. It'll be at 9 p.m. Okay. Most of our trainings are 9 p.m. unless we have something special. And then James, one of our other Platinum 1000, right there, P2000 loading. He uses the scanner, so he's going to be conducting some of these trainings on the scanner as well. And he's super patient, great teacher as well. So guys, I want y'all to continue to learn as well, because as you get versed in this, as you get confident, I want y'all to start being like, so if I want to do a training, I'll be like, please do. Okay, so definitely. All right, so y'all, I appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Friday night. I'll try to upload this tonight for y'all, like, because I love y'all. I'll upload it to the YouTube tonight, so that y'all can start watching it tonight or tomorrow. But don't sleep on Manny Q. Manny Canones in the Go Live. Follow him. He has the strategy. He has tons of videos on it, so you can go and learn from him. All right, y'all have a good one. All right, take it easy.
Thanks, Soph. Good night.
Have a good one.
Sophie, thank you.
Thank you. You are amazing.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you.